Hello heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. So the evil Brainiac has returned. Let's take a look. We should have an option to go to the bottled DC Open World map. So let's do that right now. So here you can see what the map looks like. So it is a new version of the Washington DC Open World map. So this version has some bottled city, some bottled buildings you can see in the distance, and of course a whole bunch of evil Brainiac robots all around us. So let us start by talking to Martian Manhunter. I'm using the PlayStation 5 client right now, so I'm not sure if it's a good idea. We'll find out soon enough.
Brainiac seems to be searching for something, targeting heroes and villains, almost at random. Help repel his attacks and prevent him from bottling anything or anyone else while we figure out what he's after.
So the first time we talk to Martian Manhunter, you'll see a gift appearing here. So let's go to Open Granted Item menu. So basically we're getting our augments. I usually play as a controller, so normally I do claim the controller augments. So I will go for the Vital Biogenetic Boosters. Let's do that again. And you can see the various ranks at the bottom. So rank 4, 8, 12, all the way to 28. 28 being the maximum rank. So here you can see our old augments are still a bit better than the new ones. But it's because we did not start upgrading the new ones just yet. As soon as we start upgrading them, they should get better quickly enough. So if we take a quick look at our first objective, so here you can see we will have to complete a daily mission. Then afterwards we will have to complete the duo, we will have to complete the alert, and we will have to complete a raid, and then we will have access to the omnipotent item. I'll make a video specifically about that, but right now the next step would be to play any daily mission in the open world. But before we do that, there is the booster gold vendor over here. So here there's the mastermind set of gear, which is item level 370. So it's not going to be useful for me at this point. So the next set of gear would be the Aberrant Hunter. Oh, there's also the Aberrant Stalker. And there's also the Elite version. Sadly for the Elite version, you have to play the Elite content in order to be able to raise your renown. And here you can purchase some more augments if you want to. And the various plans for the generator mods. And here we can see the cheetah vendor. But as you can see, we cannot purchase the OP headpiece just yet. But before we can purchase the headpiece, we will have to complete Brainiac Returns Part 1. And there seems to be also a Part 2. If we take a look at the on-duty menu, so you can see Brainiac Returns. So we do have one duo. We do have one alert. And we do have 2 raids. So we do have a few quest givers that gives us solo missions. And there's a couple of weekly bounties as well. But before we get started, there are also some base items that have been added to the cheetah vendor. So you can see there's some base items from the Brainiac Returns DLC. And there are 3 new collections in the Brainiac Open World. One of the collection will give you access to the Batman statue. One of the collections will give you the Superman statue. And one of the collections will give you the Wonder Woman statue. There's also symbols that you can purchase for your lair. And there are a couple of tables like the Hall of Doom table and the Hall of Justice table. You should be able to get also some of those items as random drops, but if you do not get them as random drops, you can purchase them here if you want to. If you experience a bit of lag today, or worse, if there's a bit of lag on the broker, as you can see right now there's 38 phases, and a lot of those phases are full phases. Now there's only 40 people per phase, but the DLC just launched, so I would suspect that later tonight there will be a lot more people playing the game. So enough stalling, let us talk to our friend Hawkgirl. Normally I would pick up all the missions all at once, but to try to keep things a bit simple, we'll do those missions one at a time. So let us start with Hawkgirl.
It's time for combat.
So as you heard, it is time for combat. So we have to defeat Brainiac constructors and Brainiac workers, so we need 30 of them. So it will give us a loot cache, and you can see that the new currency is Bizarro Sample. Let's summon our friend. And let's get this party started. The game should raise your combat rating. But my combat rating is 430, so I'm not sure how high your combat rating will be if you come and play those missions. I'm a bit surprised. I seem to recall the frame rate on the PlayStation 5 client was pretty bad sometimes, but so far so good. Knock on wood. Hopefully I didn't jinx it by saying that. We'll see. So it had been a while since we had to fight some evil Brainiac robots. One of the comments I saw a lot is that people were not too happy that a lot of the content in this DLC is actually reused content. Although it is a comment we hear pretty much every DLCs, so... But in this case, I have to admit, yes, there's a lot of reused assets in here. But it goes smoothly enough. Ah, the Brainiac robots disappeared. It happens sometimes. Sometimes some NPCs will phase out. I hate it when it does that, but what can you do? It's not the end of the world. There's plenty of NPCs right here. So it doesn't really matter. Now we're pretty much done, but let's finish off those evil NPCs. And so let's return to Hog Girl.
What a battle! Absolute perfection.
So let's see our reward.
Finally focused his efforts and is targeting the Area 51 Cadmus research facility. Whatever he's up to, it's not good. Ready to help?
Oh, we have to check in with Martian Manhunter again. So here we got a loot cache, so let's open the box. Decisions. Let's go for the ring. The back piece, I have the Omnipotence back piece, which is probably the back piece I'll use for quite a while. So let's go for a ring instead. And let's see. Let's go for the controller ring. So you can see the ring is combat rating 375. That's a bit better than what I used to have. So by completing the solo mission, we completed the first part of the Brainiac Returns, so part 1. And here you can see we have part 2 now. But before we do that, let's talk to our friend Martian Manhunter.
I anticipate that Brainiac's rampage here has not yet reached its zenith. Remain vigilant.
So for part 2, we will have to play the duo. So if it works like the previous Omnipotence items, we'll have to play the duo, the alert, either one of the raids or even both raids. And then we will be able to purchase the Omnipotence headpiece. We will do that a bit later today, but right now let's focus on completing the solo missions. Oh, someone seems to be angry. But before we do that, so we have a bunch of new collections that have been added to the game, but also we have a new briefing.
I stand ready to assist in any missions.
And there's 3 sets of collections together. So here you can see the collection. So next let us talk to our friend Red Tornado.
Every moment of sentience is precious. Free these people from Brainiac.
So here we're gonna have to free bottle the civilians and possessed civilians. So we're going to need 15 of them, so it should be quick enough. Today you will have to compete a little bit with other players. Obviously there's a lot of people who are going to be running those missions, but you should be able to get done quickly enough. Stay on target. Stay on target. This DLC almost has a bit of nostalgia attached to it. A lot of those robots are the same robots we were fighting way back when we started playing this universe online. So it's hard not to be a bit nostalgic in this map. Sadly, the one drawback is that we have been a long time. We have been like 7 months before we got a new DLC. So sadly, it's kind of nice that the DLC does feel comfortable, does feel familiar. But sadly, it might be a bit too familiar, seeing how we didn't get new content for a long time. So here we got another collection. And let's talk to a tornado.
Success, as expected.
And let's collect our loot cache. No choice. We have to go for the neck. Oh, and here we got the Green Lantern symbol. So you can purchase the base items on the Cheetah vendor, or you can hope to get them as random drops. And you'll probably be able to purchase them also from the broker. And now let us talk to our friend John Stewart.
Brainiac's not gonna like this ring and everything that comes with it.
So we have to destroy mechanical vines and defeat Brainiac wing armors. We fought a lot of those in the South Gotham way back when, and I guess we'll be fighting them some more. Here's a wing. And we're seeing a second briefing. We'll pick it up in just a minute. Ah, I wasn't quick enough. I'm so sad now. I was busy looking at the chat. Let's give a little thanks to our friend here. So let's pick up the briefing here.
The Hall of Justice and the Watchtower are both important bases of operations. An Earthside location assures the public that we are not a force to be feared.
So one of the nice things is that there's quite a few different objectives. That's always appreciated. Let's say hello, 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 hello. Sorry, I won't torture you by singing. I promise. Maybe. And this is for the third collection. Although here we will be competing with other players, so competition might be a little bit fierce for those collections. Right now, it's not too bad because there's probably not that many people that are logged in just yet. But later today, and probably after supper, there'll probably be a lot of people competing for those objectives. Sorry, at this point, I get a lot of tells in-game. I try to reply to people as much as I can, but sometimes I'm a little busy, a little too busy to reply, sadly. Almost there, stay on target. Oh. And as you can see, we got our first feed from this DLC. So let's go back to see our friend John Stewart.
Now that's what I like to see out there.
So let's see what's in the box. Let's go for the ring. And now let us talk to the evil Lex Luthor.
Best is no match against my hand-picked representative.
So this here is a weekly mission. You have to defeat a whole bunch of evil tumblers. Let's see how many. It used to be a lot. I'm not sure if they... 200. Could have sworn it was more than that. There's usually an announcement when there's some tumblers. I will show you at the very least where that is, so that we can go back later on. Oh, there's already some tumblers here, so... for this week, there'll probably be a lot of people farming this area. As you can see, you need 200 of those tumblers. And you'll probably be competing with other players. I've seen people who were not too happy because basically you cannot complete the mission just in one go. You're gonna have to come back 2 or 3 times before you can get all the tumblers you need to complete the mission. If this was a daily mission, I could see that as being an issue. But seeing how this is a weekly mission, if somehow you don't get all the tumblers you need today, not a big deal. You can come back tomorrow, the day after. You have a whole week in order to be able to complete the mission. Now, I don't expect that it'll take the whole week. Odds are, even with people competing against you, it'll probably take you 2 days at the most, maybe 3. Although I'm a bit happy, I was worried a bit. When there's a lot of mobs, usually in DC Universe Online, a lot of NPCs or a lot of players, sometimes the game does struggle a bit. But I have to admit, I see a lot of tumblers, I see a bunch of players, and the game isn't going crazy. So I'm pretty happy about that. I hope I didn't just jinx it again. If the game crashes, it'll be my fault. So you can see it does go up fairly quickly. We're up to 30 so far already. So normally the way this works is that there will be an announcement that some tumblers are about to spawn. So you come here, defeat as many as you can. Like you can see, there's a timer. There's still 3 minutes left for the tumblers. So the tumblers will spawn for, I think it's about 5 minutes. And if you don't complete it within that time, don't worry. There will be tumblers spawning all day. So later on there will be another announcement saying that, oh, there's some tumblers that just spawned. And I'm sure that some people have created groups. So odds are some of the people we're seeing right now are pretty much grouped together in order to be able to maximize the amount of tumblers they'll get. So obviously over here, you have to compete against other players to try to get those tumblers. But again, the easy fix, form a group of 8 players, and you'll be able to play this mission quickly enough. And already you can see I'm up to 75. So it does progress well enough, even if you're by yourself. The worst that can happen is that I have to come back a bit later to try to complete the mission. So we're almost halfway there. But we only have 45 seconds left. Oh yeah, there's a group here that's all mine. Me own, me precious. Ah, they were a bit out of range. That happens. So 20 seconds left. Could have sworn something fishy happened with the timer. Doesn't matter. It's almost there. This should be our last one. And the timer is gone. Gone, I says. So you can see we get the message that the outbreak has dispersed. So when they do come back, we will get another message. So right now, no choice. Let's go talk to our last quest giver. So we were able to get the 143 tumblers. Not too bad. So basically next time when the tumblers come back, we'll be able to complete the mission. But in the meantime, let us talk to our friend Superman.
Washington, D.C. is relying on us.
So we have to defeat the Arrock Overlord and bottle the DC. So let us accept. Basically it is the bounty of the map. And you can see in the chat, there are people trying to form groups to defeat the 200 tumblers. So again, if you get into one of those groups, you should be able to complete the mission very quickly. I'm not sure if he's always there, if there's a certain amount of time before he spawns. So you can see there's a whole bunch of Brainiac tumblers that will spawn to try to help him, I suppose. There's probably various feats to defeat the Overlord 5 times, 10 times, 25 times. And this weekend, there's probably going to be groups that will be farm that bounty. Today, there's probably going to be a group that will do that as well. So if you want to be able to get that feat as quickly as possible, this weekend will be a good time to farm for that bounty. This weekend, there will probably be plenty of people farming that bounty. So it shouldn't be too hard to find a phase where people are fighting him over and over again. I did not fight the bounty on the test server, so I'm not sure if there's mechanics that we have to do or not. At this point, you guys know as much as I do. Oh no! He killed my robot sidekick. You're so mean. Again, I have to admit I'm a bit surprised. It does run smoothly enough. Again, there's a whole bunch of people here, but I don't notice any lag or any huge drop in the frame rate. But somehow I cannot summon my robot. I'm so sad now. Almost there. Stay on target. Let's move out of the way. So the tails for the Brainiac, for the Arachnid Overlord attack, seems evident enough to spot. Oh, I guess we did defeat the Overlord. So there are groups that will stay here, wait for the Overlord to respawn, and defeat him over and over and over again until they can get all the feats. We're not going to do that, at least not today. But I did seem to recall seeing a briefing. So as you said, there's a feat for going through the beam of light. Ah. If you're a foolish fool and you don't see the briefing on the floor, it's quite simple. It's because it's way up there.
Sometimes I wonder if I am not the only sentient robot Tio Moro created, just the only one able to communicate my sentience. The idea that others like me may exist, but trapped within their own minds, troubles me to no end.
So 3 out of 5 for the briefings. With a bit of luck, we'll get them all today.
Thanks for taking care of the important stuff.
And let's take a look what's in the box. So this is a large loot cache, so we might get some better loot. Let's find out. Let's go for the neck piece again. So we did get some sonic remnants and some hybrid cells. So already the new neck piece we had today is obsolete. That is so sad. So we've pretty much played all the missions in the open world. All we have to do is complete the tumblers. But also we have a whole bunch of collections to gather, so that should keep us busy, at least for a bit. Obviously, if we're lucky, we won't have to look for collections all that much. If we're not lucky, then it may take a while. So you can see the fourth briefing is all the way up here.
Originally, the mobile capabilities of the Hall of Doom was intended to allow the society to spread their evil across the world.
And the last and fifth briefing is up here on top of the building.
Watchtower Graveyard Shift Report. No events. No visitors. 12-hour shift. Completed.
Oh, the outbreak has started, so let's go find some tumblers. We'll look for collection a bit later. So we're at 146. So we should be able to complete it quickly enough. So here we have 6 minutes 15. So the outbreak seems to last maybe 7 minutes. Let's go all the way, why not? Almost there. There we go, that was simple enough. Let's get out of here. Let's go collect our reward. So let's talk to Lex.
You have made me very, very happy.
And let's see what's in the box. Again, I already have the Omnipotence back piece, so let's go for the belt. Oh, and we got a Might 47.2. So already we were able to raise our combat rating to 432. So once you complete all the open world missions, you can see I have 20 Bizarro samples. And I will play the duo, the alert, and the raids a bit later today, or maybe tomorrow, I will see. But because of the breathing, I have mail, so let's go pick it up. So the reward we get from completing the briefing is some nanite. So it's one of the catalysts we'll need to upgrade our augments. Here you can see the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman statues. And you can see that they are not quite as big as the Superman statues that we already had in the game. You can see that the statue we just got is the newer Superman model statue as opposed to the older model for the previous statue. So basically the older statue was the classic Superman statue, and the new statue is the rebirth Superman statue. So once you complete each collection, you will get one of the statue, and after that, you will be able to purchase the statues from the Cheetah vendor if you want to. So there we go, guys. So the new DLC is live right now. It seems to be running smoothly so far, but the true test will really be later today after supper. There'll probably be a lot of people playing later tonight. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.